What are those megaprojects under construction right now, preparing to change the face of the planet as we know it? From Russia and China's controversial megaproject that will increase their power, to the telescope in Australia that will put us in potential contact with alien life. On this episode of Built a Billion, we present to you the most expensive megaprojects under construction right now. And stay till the end because you won't believe the most expensive of them all. Wazir Tower. Want to see a building that breathes? Look no further than the Wazir Tower in Dubai, once it's constructed, of course. The 990-foot tall Wazir Tower is yet another addition to the record-breaking Dubai skyline that will be the region's tallest ceramic facade. Once it's complete, the building's design will foster an illusion of dynamic motion, and construction has moved through 56 of the 64 planned floors so far. With that being said, the $400 million project has a completion date set for 2024. Square kilometer array. Have you heard of radio telescopes? These devices help us gather radio waves from space, giving us images in more detail than we've ever thought imaginable. For decades, scientists have been developing a radio telescope so large and powerful that it will greatly increase the detail in which we see the universe and how galaxies have evolved over time. The Square Kilometer Array will be constructed in two places, South Africa and Australia. It will be made up of millions of different types of antennas linked together by fiber optic networks that feed data into huge supercomputers. The Australian site in the western part of the continent will be home to an array of low-frequency chest-high antennas spread out over an area of 100 kilometers in diameter. There's no Wi-Fi allowed or phone signals to ensure the radio telescopes function properly. Phase 1 will see about 100,000 antennas placed in the Australian outback, and this number will reach the millions over the next decade. They will collect radio waves from the farthest reaches of space, culminating in so much data it will be several times more than today's global internet traffic. With this data comes the answers to some of life's most profound questions about the universe. By the way, it's been stated that if any aliens are emitting any types of radio waves, the antennas will most definitely pick it up. Any data will be sent 700 kilometers away to a facility in Perth with a supercomputer more powerful than anything the world has seen yet. In total, the project will cost an estimated $2.2 billion. Dasu Dam. Now for Pakistan, who, as far as this list is concerned, is the kid in class who just can't seem to get a grasp on how to do his science project. Pakistan is constructing a $4.3 billion dam with the help of the Chinese and funding from the World Bank. The Dasu Dam aims to help facilitate the expansion of the electricity supply in Pakistan. The dam was supposed to open in 2022, but now stands at only 12% complete, mostly due to the lack of land acquisition, which was supposed to be completed in 2019. Currently, authorities are hoping to create a diversion system by 2023 that will generate electricity in 2 years. Let us know how it goes, Pakistan. East Coast Rail Link. The East Coast Rail Link is one of Malaysia's largest infrastructure development projects in history, and it has involved tunneling through 10 miles of mountains. It will run coast to coast and connect Kota Baharu with the West Coast ports, featuring a total line length of 665 kilometers and consisting of 20 stations. The project is part of China's Belt Road Initiative, China's attempt to link global economies in a China-centered trade network. The East Coast Rail Link is expected to travel at speeds of up to 160 kilometers per hour for passengers, while the freight train will run at half that speed. The total cost of the project has risen to $12 billion since its inception. New York City Gateway Project. New York City is the most populated urban center in the United States, with its 8.2 million people, but its infrastructure is largely outdated and deteriorating. Most crucial is the Hudson River Tunnel that was flooded with salt water by Superstorm Sandy in 2012, corroding walls and damaging electrical systems. As a result, high-voltage cables have been failing, causing major delays. The NYC Gateway project was proposed as a solution to improve this infrastructure. It's a series of projects, with the first focusing on the Hudson Tunnel. This part will consist of 2 rail tunnels under the Hudson River that will connect to Penn Station in Manhattan and link to the North River tunnels. Then 2 train tracks will be added that will extend 11 kilometers south to Newark Penn Station. Along this route, there will be several projects that will improve infrastructure. Work is set to begin on the tunnels under the Hudson River and will serve as an immediate boost to the economy. President Biden recently announced a $300 million grant that will fund the project and get the ball rolling this year. 72,000 jobs will be created with this endeavor that will provide a much-needed economic boost after a heavy blow dealt by the pandemic. The total project will cost $16 billion and will be completed by 2035. But this project isn't even half the cost of our #1 project on the list. But before we get into that, if you're enjoying this content and you'd love to hear about all the mega projects of the world, please subscribe to the channel and help us reach our goal of 1,000 subscribers. It'll really help the channel out. Now back to the video. Power of Siberia 2. The Power of Siberia 2 project is a gas pipeline in the works between Russia and China. The proposed pipeline would travel through Mongolia and deliver up to 50 billion cubic meters of gas from Russia to China per year. And this mega project will be a win-win for both countries as tensions with the West grow stronger and stronger. This is not the first pipeline these two countries have shared, however, the first being the Power of Siberia 1 that went live in 2019. The difference here is that that gas is from an area only used by Russia. This next pipeline, the Power of Siberia 2, would actually draw oil from areas that the rest of Europe uses, which might create some uneasiness. But how do both sides benefit? Well, as far as Russia, they'll be less dependent on the European market once the pipeline is created, because they'll be drawing gas from the same place most of Europe does. It's important for Russia to find more leverage when they're being hit with sanctions from left and right. China could benefit from the pipeline because it can reduce its reliance on routes controlled by US warships. China wants to be free to release its balloons where it pleases without the threat of a US naval blockade. Moscow and Beijing are closing in on a deal that is estimated to reach a cost of $55 billion, with the intent to start delivering gas on the 2,600-kilometer pipeline by 2030. Which of these mega projects are you most looking forward to? Let me know in the comments below. I have plenty more videos about mega projects under construction, so click that video on the screen to watch something you haven't seen. And thanks for visiting Built a Billion.